Hello everyone and welcome back to our community. We are in Denver and I called on your favorite locals to figure out what it's really like to actually live here. This is actually the Red Rock Amphitheater, where it's one of the coolest concert venues I've ever been to, about 20 minutes outside of Denver. So let's start with the weather because it's so sunny even though it's so cold.
Hello from Denver. It is so sunny here. It's 55 degrees and it's February. Like, this is crazy. Huge selling point to live here, honestly. Wow.
Hi everyone, my name is Raina. I live in Boulder, Colorado. Jen, thank you so much for having me on your YouTube video. I think that this place is just so special because you just know that everyone is prioritizing their quality of life above everything. And by the way, there's 300 plus days of sun here. So even when it's really cold, it's not sunny today because it's snowing, but on most days there is sun, and so you can be outside and not even be that cold.
Denver is truly an amazing city to live in. It is so beautiful. It gets a ton of sunshine. There's great proximity to the outdoors. It's easy to get to the mountains, usually, unless you're stuck in traffic on I-70. If you are moving out to Colorado, I would definitely recommend sunscreen. We're really, beautiful sunny days, but it is blinding at times, especially if you're skiing. You think you don't necessarily need it, but definitely you do. And also be sure to pack layers wherever you go, because the saying is if you don't like the weather in Colorado, you should wait 5 minutes and you will see a little bit of everything every day. It could be 20 degrees and snowing in the morning and 65 degrees and sunny in the afternoon. So preparedness goes a long way.
They also gave us some insights on the apartment hunt and the housing market search here.
I'm Nikki Koplitz. I'm a tech professional and personal trainer based out of Denver, Colorado. Okay, if you're looking to buy in Denver, the market is absolutely insane right now. I know it's kind of like this everywhere, but Denver especially. Most houses are going for like 20 to 30% above asking price. I don't know how much I'd recommend trying to find a place here right now. Looking for places to rent, it's also pretty competitive and rent prices are going pretty high. It's definitely doable, and there's definitely a lot of apartments if you prefer living in an apartment.
So then I was wondering, what are the best areas to live in when you are looking to live in Denver?
So when I first moved to Denver, I lived in Reno. I lived in a 2-bedroom apartment in an apartment complex. I really enjoyed it. It was really like modern appliances and amenities and a in-unit washer dryer, which if you're coming from New York, that's like unheard of. We also did experience some like theft and petty crime. Reno is a great place to live, but I would also say to like be careful. I recently in the past month moved to the Tennyson area, which is slightly more suburban, still in Denver and not like complete suburbia. There's still like a downtown area. There's still places to walk to. So I've been really enjoying it. I feel way safer walking around alone at night. So I highly recommend living in Tennyson, living in Lohi. It's a little bit more expensive, but a super great area. Reno still, or living in Wash Park, or by any of the parks really.
I wanted to hear more about like the day-to-day recreational activities, social life, that kind of thing. So here's everything they had to say about what it's like to really live here.
One of my favorite things about Denver and just Colorado in general is the recreation here is way more than just going out and partying with friends, which of course is also really fun. So many hikes here, there's mountain biking, there's trail running, there's hiking, there's snowboarding, there's skiing. There's so many types of adventures that you could do here that are fun and that don't necessarily require a full hungover Sunday.
It's a beautiful place for anyone who loves adventure and nature. But because there are so many Denver transplants who've come out west in the last year and a half, 2 years, it feels like this collective sense of people wanting to make new friends and wanting to get to know one another. And you're definitely not alone in wanting to try something new or have a fresh start. My other advice for anyone moving out here is hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Friendly piece of advice is every drink you have at altitude is allegedly worth 2 that you would have at sea level. So go slow and be sure to pace yourself.
Every day, people are hiking at all hours, climbing at all hours, making time to ski and snowboard and just like be outside, going to yoga, going to different like spiritual events.
Being outside in nature is honestly so worth it. And you meet a lot of like-minded people, especially if you are doing some of these activities and if you're going to fitness classes or the gym or out on to breweries on weekends. Like I think because it's so transient here and there's so many people coming here from so many different places, a lot of people are also trying to meet friends and other people here.
So a lot of these women actually moved from New York City to Denver, so I wanted to ask their insights on comparing the two and also what that move was like for them.
It's just very different than what I experienced on the East Coast. Not that there's anything wrong with the East Coast, but there was just more of an emphasis, for us at least, on like hustling, go, 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 you know, getting shit done, working really hard, partying, going out. And we were just kind of in the mood for something more balanced, more emphasizing taking care of yourself.
I think for me, the biggest shift in moving from New York City a year and a half ago was this realization that not everything centered on work anymore. And for over a decade, I'd been really conditioned to feel like I was living to work, and work consumed a lot of my life and it took over a lot of my identity. And being out here, I feel like there's just more of a focus on work being a means to live and not necessarily the main entree on people's plates.
I would wake up and go outside in New York and just feel immediate like energy, which in a way was so amazing. It made me so like motivated and inspired, but in another way also made me super anxious. So I think one of the best things about being here in Colorado, being able to wake up and go outside and not immediately feel overwhelmed. I know people are scared sometimes of moving out of New York and going to a place that feels more slow paced. And I think I definitely had that fear also. And definitely the first couple months here to maybe the first year here to maybe still sometimes. You'll be at the grocery store and be like, okay, come on, move it, people. But at the end of the day, I feel like there is that knowing here of capitalism defined productivity not necessarily being everything. I feel like people here are more in tune with trying to enjoy their life, trying to enjoy their time outside, trying to be more present. Another big change from moving to Denver from New York City is the amount of sunlight you get here. There is so much sunlight. It's done wonders again for my mental health. Also different is there's a lot less diversity here, especially if you're going downtown or on any of like the ski mountains. There is a lot of good food here, but if you're comparing it to New York City, the access you have to great restaurants or a range of cuisines is definitely not at the New York City level. I will also say it's way less walkable here. So even if you're living in downtown Denver, you probably still need a car, especially if you want to enjoy the outdoors or go to Golden or Boulder or to the mountains. Also, you will need to work on adapting to the altitude here. Denver's known as the Mile High City, and that's because we are 5,300 feet above sea level. And if you're comparing this, like for context, New York is at about sea level, so like 33 feet above sea level. So you'll definitely feel the effects and definitely wanna stay hydrated and take it slow.
And that is what it's really like to live in Denver. If you guys are considering moving here, please comment down below. I wanna hear all about why you're moving to Denver and what in this video helped you. Give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, all the things, and I will see you guys next week.